If it's limp, you're not going to strengthen your muscles, right? So we all need a tug on the other end of that rope. Tugs are good. We build our muscles. We're learning balance. We're learning all sorts of things. Our bodies are like that. We need some stress in our bodies. But when it gets to be too much, they've pulled in Scott on the other side of that rope. Holy smokes, folks, we're in trouble now. Because he looks like he can exert a big pull. In fact, it is a big pull, and we're being pulled the wrong way. What the NRF2 pathway does, and really honestly, what this product does, and what you should have seen today, is that we can now send signals. We need some help. We need to balance this pole, and we're going too far one direction. So we're going to get Hunter, and we're going to get a few other big body guys on our end of that rope, and we'll get back to an equilibrium where life is good. So that's what I see the NRF2 doing.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Dr. Michaels thinks that I can pull against Scott.
All right, so Hunter, you mentioned about redox, you explained about redox, oxidation, reduction. So Carolyn, how would you introduce redox to someone who hasn't heard about it?
It's a great question. As a naturopath, I always talk about the fact that the body is designed to promote health. It's not designed to promote sickness. The inbuilt system that the body uses is this operating system called redox signaling. It's the communication program for every cell in the way that we have an operating system for our computers. And if we can keep that operating at peak performance, then we're giving our body the best opportunity to prevent the problems that come with dysregulation and promote health and maintain it. And so why wouldn't we want to be able to rebuild our internal operating system by drinking redox beverage?
Amazing. Great.
Yeah, again, redox is so complicated when you think about all these little pathways. I mean, it's, we joke about it in our training, but the Krebs cycle was just a gosh awful thing to have to remember. We knew there were always tests on that. You've seen that diagram a few times, and yet all the intricate pathways. I think about redox as being this master conductor, because a big orchestra has a lot of moving parts, doesn't it? And those parts, if they're playing out of tune or they're not playing together, it sounds like cacophony. It's just a mixture of junk, really. But can you imagine when you have a master conductor who's orchestrating all the different pieces together? You've got all these intricate pathways, and yet they come together. And it's a baton, and everybody knows that signal. And if the conductor looks at you and does a certain thing, you know what to do as a professional instrument player. So I think of redox as this intricate pathway, but very elegant, tiny little things that are controlling all these processes in our bodies, and we truly are fearfully and wonderfully made.
When you talk about these complex intricacies, right? We know that trillions of redox reactions are happening in the body every day. And it's kind of the conductor of the body, telling the body to do something it already knows how to do. One of the things that I always like to say is redox signaling molecules is helping the body to take care of the body, right? Taking care of it in a way that it already knows how to do. It just needs to be told to do so. So that's great. Okay, next question here. What are the most common questions you receive about redox, right? This is a unique technology, and sometimes it's misunderstood in our field and in our space. What are some of the most frequent questions you receive, and how do you answer them? Go ahead, yeah.
I think probably there's two. The most common one, I think, is this light? And it's not like anything else there out in the market. It's a brand new technology. It's a category creator. If you go in the health food store, there's not a shelf for cell signaling supplements. So, you know, people want to know, does it do like a Beamer mat or zeolites? And it's totally different. This is the only cell signaling product on the market, and so it's not like anything else. And it does things that nothing else does. The other question I get is, and I know you guys do too, is how does this work in XYZ disease state? And clearly this is not a drug, so we don't make medical claims. So I just say a couple of things. Does the condition you're talking about involve a cell? This turns on cells. And, I guess that's it.
I guess because my background is so much in nutrition, very often people will say, well, I'm taking X, Y, and Z capsules, right, pills, things like that. Anyone who heard us speak in the medical conference earlier was the whole process is that this is not about digestion. And because it is, as you said, right, the donation of energy, it's energy looking for a place to rest, it's also the facilitator for being able to utilize any of the supplements that we do take that come in capsules, because those are the foods, those are the nutrients, and it's really like both sides of a penny. The redox is the power to do something, and to me I found it's the missing link to help us utilize the nutrition that we might be giving from the ASEA line, for example. That is, this beautiful partnership that goes together. And what I've seen in practice is that people very often throw way too many supplements and capsules and pills at the body. The body's already overloaded, it's already not digesting well enough anyway, and so it's pretty toxic. So it's really just power to get everything going.
Okay, real quickly, redox, I think of kind of a story that many people may be familiar with, David and Goliath. And I think of preparation, because from the outset of the story, it looks like, this insurmountable thing David has to overcome. I think about oxidative stress. I think about things in people's lives out there, you folks, and folks that you know that are facing a Goliath. And we just have to realize what we have here. This is state of the art. It's one of a kind. It's an ability to deal with that Goliath that you may be facing. And it's not just the redox. It's the self-performance line as well. We need to realize that these things can come to bear. They can activate, again, tiny, tiny molecules doing these incredible things, unlocking these pathways. It's almost like you open the door and you've got all these places to go, and they go there. But also, I love all of you, and I want you here at the next conference. And we have to realize, I face problems with people thinking, oh, I'll take a pill and that will solve everything. Let us not in this room think, as powerful as these are, we have to realize it's a redox lifestyle. We have to realize that. So something as basic, this little tiny thing like flossing your teeth, going to the gym, eating better foods, getting proper sleep. All of these things play into this balance that we've talked about. And it's integral to our health in the future. But folks, don't miss. When I saw this research, I just put my hands up and said, hallelujah. Because this can be life-changing. It should be. It is. And if you allow these molecules to enter your life on a regular basis, because the Torah study said, you stop this, the effect goes away. So don't stop it. Adopt a redox lifestyle, and life will be changed.
That ties in nicely to this next question that we receive very often is do I need to take this the rest of my life? And I think, well, he answered the question, right? Don't stop taking the product. So let's move forward and I guess as we conclude here, the three of you serve on the medical professional board, which we are very grateful for, donating your time and collaborating with us. You're close to the research, you're seeing the product development happen, you've visited twice this year now to see the facility and the technology. What in your minds have you seen ASEA do in the past year that is helping to solidify our position as global leaders in the space of redox and cellular health?
Well, I was talking to somebody walking over here this morning. I've been involved with ASEA 10.5 years, and the upgrading of everything, the next level that Tyler pointed out is just mind-boggling on every level. But particularly the research, you guys coming on board and being in charge of research around the world. In the studies you just saw that were presented at the science meeting, it's mind-boggling what this corporation is doing, as well as the technology and just every aspect. This corporation is not only is the global leader in cellular health, but they're moving north really quickly. It's exciting.
I think one of the interesting things, other than what you were talking about, yes, which is pretty amazing when we're looking at the advances that you've been making there, is we made some transitions at the beginning of this year to reform a collaboration between the medical board and the science board. And the beauty about this is that our goal, and we hope that we're managing to achieve this for you, is to take on the role of helping you get around languaging, making the languaging of this complex science easier and simpler to share in just bite-sized statements, and then be able to produce with the new website that we have the opportunity to be able to point to a lot more in-depth research that you can use, so you don't have to be the experts. And I hope we're making it easier for you to be able to do that.
Imagine a tip of an iceberg. How much of that iceberg is visible right now? Very, very little, actually. The amazing part is that most of it's below visibility, isn't it? You have to have a vision to see what's under the water. And I think, I've been involved in the medical field a long time. And to see this whole redox biochemistry field, to go from a nothing, really, just a page or two in my biochemistry textbook, to where it is today, with tens of thousands of articles. Yeah, it's interesting. I pulled just 4 articles. I love just pulling up things and medical challenges that patients have seen in the past week. And on Saturday, I'll just have a little bit of free time and just love to go after those articles. But it's interesting that what you saw today, mainline medical research is talking about, and the articles we're all talking about glutathione. Come to think of that, wow, glutathione. And if you connect the dots you saw this morning, just make that translational leap. And sometimes we go from basic science research, and then we've got to leap translationally to application in real life. And sometimes those dots are a little farther apart, but folks, we're getting there, and this is a burgeoning field. You are privileged to see a glimpse of this now, and we are too. And this company, I just so much thank the company, because I run a business, and when you involve your money into something that is just research-based, that's amazing. You ought to give these guys a hand.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We value your collaboration. We value your expertise in each of your fields. Everyone, please give our panel a round of applause.